there is a silent collapse happening in the mirror, a subtle biological tragedy that you feel deep in your gut long before you ever truly see it. It is the quiet dissolving of the human structure. You have been told that your face is a genetic lottery ticket, a random roll of the biological dice that you must simply accept. You have been lied to. Your face is not a lottery, it is a receipt. What you see in the reflection is a cumulative debt that has been compounding with interest for 300 years. It is a structural insolvency passed down through generations of comfort. We are currently living through the era of the melting face, a slow-motion implosion of the human profile that has left us breathless, crowded, and aesthetically bankrupt. But the cause is not what you think. To understand the collapse, we must first look at the foundation of the ruin. We must examine the ghosts of the men who walked the earth before the concrete was ever poured. Your ancestors were biological and architectural marvels. They possessed wide dental arches, forward-grown maxillas, and airways so aggressively open they could run for days without ever gasping for a single breath. They had absolutely no orthodontists. Yet, excavating their graves reveals a shocking and undeniable truth. Their teeth were perfectly straight. Every single one of them, without exception. How is it possible that with zero medical intervention, the ancient human face was a masterpiece of mathematical symmetry? The answer lies in the brutal friction of their daily existence. Their world was hard, literally hard. To eat was to work. The inputs required to sustain life were tough, fibrous, and incredibly resistant to the bite, forcing the body to adapt. This is where the biology becomes undeniable. Bone is not concrete. It is a living, electric tissue that listens intently to the language of mechanical stress. We call this Wolff's law. Bone is inherently lazy. If you do not stress it, it dissolves. But if you demand from it, it builds a fortress of calcium. The masseter muscle is the engine of the face. When your ancestors chewed, they generated massive mechanical loads that sent a screaming signal to the skull. Grow! And the skull obeyed the command. It widened. It projected forward. It built a scaffold of bone strong enough to house the teeth and fully open the respiratory airway. But then the world softened. We traded the hunter's friction for the farmer's comfort, and eventually for the industrialist's luxury, leaving our biology behind. The Industrial Revolution did not just change our economy, it fundamentally altered our biology. We invented the steel roller mill, and we refined the struggle out of our food supply. We stopped tearing at our food. We stopped grinding. We introduced the fork, the knife, and the boiled mush that requires absolutely no effort to swallow. The signal to the bone stopped ringing. The master bone, the maxilla, stopped receiving the command to grow forward, so it began to melt backward into the face. The palate narrowed drastically. The jaw shortened in response. The teeth, having nowhere to go, began to crash into each other like cars in a chaotic traffic jam. We call it crowding, but it is actually atrophy. Your wisdom teeth don't fit because you are living in a smaller biological house than your DNA intended for you. But cosmetic ugliness is the least of your problems. When the face collapses inward, it takes the breathing tube with it, choking the organism. The modern face is a suffocating face. The recession of the jaw closes the airway, forcing the mouth to hang open just to survive the night. We are a species sleeping in a state of low-grade panic, gasping for air through narrow tubes, tired, anxious, and structurally compromised by our own comfort. This is the Darwinian debt. The luxury of the modern world has extracted a tax from your very bone structure, leaving you physically insolvent. We think of beauty as a luxury, something superficial for magazines and mirrors. We are lying to ourselves to feel better about the decay. Beauty is not a luxury. Beauty is the physical manifestation of structural utility. It is the visible footprint of absolute health. A sharp jawline is not just hot, it is visible proof of a functional airway. It is a biological signal that the organism can breathe freely. The hunter eye is not a style choice, it is the result of a maxilla that has grown up and out, supporting the orbital rim against gravity. What we perceive as ugly, the recession, the tiredness, the sag, is our biological radar detecting a system in collapse, a structure failing its primary function. So, can the debt be repaid? Can the melting statue be chiseled back into form? The biology suggests that the window remains open. The bones of the face remain plastic throughout life. They are waiting for the signal. They are waiting for the stress they were designed to endure. Your skull is not a single rock. It is a puzzle of plates connected by sutures that remain open to influence, waiting for pressure to shift them. When you reintroduce the friction, when you seal the lips, when you press the tongue against the roof, you restart the dormant engine. This is not a trend. This is terraforming. You are using your own muscles to push the face back out of the collapsed airway. You are paying the rent that your ancestors paid in sweat. You are manually overriding the default settings of the industrial age with every swallow. It is a rebellion against the melt, a rejection of the soft, breathless, recessing phenotype that the modern world has carefully curated for you. And the reward is not just in the mirror, it is in the breath. The deep, silent, nasal breath of a body that fits in its own skin. Your genetics did not doom you. They are simply waiting for the right environment to express the blueprint that has been dormant all along. The recessed chin is a symptom. The crooked teeth are a symptom. The beauty you seek is actually the cure you need. We treat Looksmaxxing as vanity because we are afraid to admit that form follows function, that the outside always reflects the structural truth of the inside. To build the face is to build the shield. To widen the jaw is to widen the path for oxygen, the fuel of consciousness itself. You do not have to leave civilization to reclaim your biology, but you must reject its comforts to save your own face. The hard path exists. The closed mouth exists. The postured tongue exists. It demands structural integrity from your own body. The Darwinian debt can be settled, but it is paid in pressure. It is paid in consistency. It is paid in the refusal to be soft. And when the debt is paid, you do not just look different. You are different. You are a biological reality that can no longer be ignored. Look in the mirror again. Do not see the flaw. See the potential that is trapped beneath the habits of the modern age. The blueprint is there, buried under the softness. It is time to excavate the masterpiece that evolution wrote into your code. Reclaim the bone. Reclaim the breath. Reclaim the undeniable reality of who you were meant to be. The melt stops now.